My world changed in about 6 texts. In those 6 texts, I was bullied and socially isolated by my friends. Here's the thing I've learned. A look can make you feel so alone, even when you're standing right beside your best friend. A look can make you crumble inside, enough that some days you just have to leave and abandon what you were doing. I used to just leave, walk out of school at lunch, going home because it was my only safe place, where, as my mom put it, I have bubble wrap. In my bubble wrap, I would break down crying and trying to convince myself that I was overreacting, or that it wasn't that bad. They were nice sometimes. My mind found ways to blame it on myself. Maybe I was not kind enough, not pretty enough, not enough. You see, when you're being bullied, it doesn't matter how many comments you get from your true friends or loving family members. Because after a while, your brain has decided that it is your fault. Psychological warfare, in a sense. Somehow, you did something wrong. Whether it be physical, verbal, social, or cyber, everyone has a story around bullying. In 2007, a boy named Chuck decided to wear a pink shirt to school on his first day of 9th grade. For this, he ended up being ruthlessly bullied. In response to this tragedy, Travis Price and David Shepard organized a bullying awareness event, where they brought and distributed 50 pink t-shirts at the school. In 2008, Canada announced February 27th as the first ever National Pink Shirt Day, as an awareness day against bullying. That was 12 years ago. In 12 years of awareness, what has changed? Yes, now we are aware, but this controlling behavior of bullying is not gone. We're still acting out this old pattern. Awareness is not activism, but it is a start. We've started to assume that bullying is just a natural part of life. It shouldn't be. It is preventable. Yet some days when I bring up the fact that I was bullied, other victims say things like, "Oh yeah, I was bullied too," unsympathetically. Like now we are accepting this behavior as a culture. In Canada, 1 in 3 Canadian adolescent students have experienced bullying recently. This means that in a classroom of 30 kids, 10 are struggling with some form of bullying. And as a result of this, 1 in 3 who have experienced bullying will self-harm. Most will have a visible grade drop, and 14% will develop eating disorders. We need to do better. For the generations that follow, bullying has not gone away. It is a human behavioral pattern that needs to stop. It is a pattern of control. Let us learn better. We can change this pattern with the effects of learning kindness, empathy, inclusiveness, community, unity, and harmony. Our natural human instincts are full of greed and selfishness. These are instincts that were built for us to survive in the wild. But we aren't in the wild anymore. It is built into our DNA to act out these negative patterns, but we can stop this. Somebody's failure does not mean your success. Take a minute. Ask yourself, what do you believe? What have you been taught? Why are you thinking this of another person? What have you been through to get you to this point of accepting hate? Rudeness, bullying, racism, hate, these are learned behaviors. We are not bad people. We just have to ask ourselves, what have we learned? As humans, we are born without bias, but it is easy to develop some when we are raised in a culture full of bias and hate. So how can we change this pattern? Our younger generations hold the key. being born without bias, and being raised in a culture where lessons around kindness and acceptance are normal. Finding less resistance to change and differences, this can drastically improve the unity in our world. We need to start implementing lessons around empathy and differences, and teaching empathy not just as a subject, but as a lifestyle. Empathy is a taught behavior. There is an organization dedicated to teaching children empathy. This organization is called Roots of Empathy, and it is designed to teach children from preschool all the way up until grade 8. Over the course of the program, they have a mother and a baby come into the classroom every 3 weeks. The instructor of the program asks the children to identify the ways the baby is developing and to point out and explain the baby's emotions. This course is essentially taught by a baby that is unable to verbally communicate its emotions. This is a really useful way to teach children how to understand and interpret their emotions and others. This learning of emotional literacy is creating a more caring environment for our children. These programs are essential in creating a harmonious world. It is easiest to learn empathy when we are young. However, not all hope is lost for older generations. We just have to be more conscious about the impacts of our thoughts and behaviors. Another really effective way to learn and even teach yourself empathy is to role play. Being able to step into someone else's shoes and mind is crucial to empathy. We need an empathy revolution. There are 2 definitions of different types of empathy. Effective empathy is almost mirroring someone else's emotions. You see someone who is sad, and although you may not understand why they are sad or what made them sad, you feel sad too. It's your body's automatic proper response to someone else's emotional distress. On the other hand, cognitive empathy is a larger and more effective role in the empathy revolution. Cognitive empathy is taking into account all of the causes and actions that have brought someone to a certain emotion. So taking into account all of their beliefs, all of what they have been taught and what they have learned. To feel cognitive empathy, you have to take perspective and be deliberate about it. We need to start implementing lessons around empathy and understanding ways to check ourselves for falling back into negative behavior patterns, such as bullying. You need to be the conscious captain of your life. Some days, a simple smile was the thing that made my day. Finding a way to change someone's day can make you feel amazing. Be curious about the world around you and ask questions. Engage with the people you are with. Don't just sit and listen, learn something about them. Every person you are with should have an impact on you and what you are thinking. People around us want to be seen. How many of you have heard of random acts of kindness? It's a singular thing you do every day to make someone else's day brighter. But here's the thing. I don't like the word random. I don't want you to make your acts random. Make them as purposeful as possible. Even if you don't know the person, you can still make your act purposeful. Show people that they are seen. Tell them that they are heard. Engage with the world around you. It is an amazing thing. Travel. Find a different culture. Show them that they are seen. Tell them that they are heard. Show them your differences and accept how amazing those differences are. It can bring you a lot in this world if you just look around, leave your comfort zone, and then find connections from it. So now I'm going to show you a small lesson used in preschools and elementary schools to teach children the effects of conscious speech, thought, and action patterns. Today you are given a paper heart. Should be in your tote bag. Please take that out. and follow along. Now, I want you to look at this heart. I want you to see how perfect, uncrumpled, maybe it accidentally got wrinkled. But I want you to acknowledge that the paper is flat, that it's clean, nice. Now, every time you see an unkind word appear on the screen, I want you to crumple it. And every time you see something kind, uplifting, motivating, or even apologetic, I want you to uncrumple it. Try and undo what you have done. You see, the words you say can't always be taken back. They can have a long-lasting impact on the person you say them to and the way they view the world around them. Sorry can't always make it better. So before you speak, think and be smart. It is hard to fix a wrinkled heart. I have hope for a world where bullying, violence, racism, and hate are not becoming an accepted part of our culture. I have hope that by teaching proper ways to deal with insecurities and toxic thought patterns, we can create a harmonious world with less hate in it. This can happen, but only if we make it. Thank you.